Introducing creamy Tuscan salmon. So here I have it, Alaskan salmon, all right, already pre-seasoned, okay? And what I'm gonna do is, I'm just gonna add some olive oil on the pan that's already been hot, just like this. So I'm just gonna coat the pan, wait for it to get hot, a little smoky. Now I'm just gonna take the salmon, okay, and I'm just gonna just wet a little bit, okay, just soak it. But then I'm just gonna put the skin down, and that's what I want to cook, the skin. Okay, the reason why I'm coating the top because I don't want it to dry as the bottom is cooking. So now I got my flame on medium high. I'm using my fish spatula here, and I'm just gonna check the bottom and make sure that it's cooking the right way that I want it, nice and dark and nice and crispy. So yeah, I'm just gonna keep an eye on it and continue to cook this bad boy. So now I'm gonna cook some rice here. I got the Royal Blend. It's got about 4 different types of rice, like red rice and wild rice and stuff like that in there. Okay, that's gonna go with the dish. All right, and I'm just gonna use my rice cooker back here. Sorry that it's far away. So now I'm gonna add 1 cup of the rice. Then I'm gonna add a 1.5 cups of water. Then I'm gonna add about a tablespoon of olive oil and about a tablespoon of salt. Give it a little mixture, cover it up, press the white rice option, and let it cook. So now here I have my salmon, nicely coated in the back. See how nice and crispy it is, the skin, nice and dark. That's how I want it. I'm just gonna add some butter to it. That will keep the salmon from drying up and keep it from cooking it too fast. Protects the salmon. Bring it down to a medium low. And then now what I'll do is I'll start to baste this bad boy. Make sure that the skin is constantly moisturized because you don't want it to dry up completely. Then your salmon will fall apart. Now I'm going to start with the rest of the ingredients for the dish here. A nice creamy Tuscan salmon. So I'm just going to coat this pan here with olive oil. And I got some chopped garlic here that I'm just going to throw in there. And start to toast that up. Get it nicely cooked. Once you start to smell the garlic, then it's all good to go. Okay? Don't overcook it because you don't want to burn the garlic because then it's going to come out sour. So then now I'm just gonna add some tomatoes. So here I'm just gonna cut some tomatoes, cut them in quarters, okay? And get that ready for the pan. So I'm using about 4 plum tomatoes here. And I'm actually cutting them in 2 quarters, and I'm just gonna throw them in the pan and let that cook and soak up. Add about a teaspoon of salt, okay? Get that nicely mixed in with the garlic. As you can see now, the tomatoes is cooking on medium high. Now I'm gonna add some chicken broth to this, about 1/4 cup, and let that simmer. Toss it around, make sure that the tomatoes and the chicken broth are marinating together. Then I'm gonna throw in my fresh spinach and start to cook those until the spinach starts to wither. Okay, get fully cooked. So as you can see here, the spinach is fully cooked. Okay, it's withered down. All right, and then here is where I add heavy cream, about 1/4 cup. Mix that all together and let it start to simmer. Damn, I'm messy. Now it's been about 4 or 5 minutes, okay? And now you're just gonna add some pepper, just for the taste. Then I'll add some fresh grated Asiago cheese. Now, the more cheese you put on, the creamier it gets. This recipe calls for creaminess, but you can always adjust it, okay? If you want to putting a lot more cheese than normal, then just add a little bit more heavy cream. Just adjust as you go. The cheese is better than the butter because the cheese actually creates the creaminess of the dish. The butter really doesn't. Now you see that it's nice and crispy, the salmon. Cooked both ways. This is the way I want it. Nice and dark. Now I want to cut thick slices to it. Just like this. So now I got my pan ready, the creaminess that I want, as I'm showing you here on my spatula. You see how it sticks to the spatula there, it's nice and creamy, okay? So on the other end here, I got some water boiling because I'm gonna have leftover cream sauce. So I'm gonna put some stuffed tortellini in there and get that cooking because I could make a side dish. Simple, quick, 2 dishes, 1 time, bam, bam. So now I got my salmon here. As you can see, it's nice and pink in the inside, nice and toast and crusty on the outside. I'm just gonna throw them in there, let it marinate for a little bit. So now what I do is I'll just baste the top of it, cover it up with the nice cream sauce, and I'll get ready for my plating. Well, here's the rice, okay? It's been cooked, nice and fluffy, all right? And I'm gonna add that to the dish. Well, here's my plate there. So I added the rice. Now I'm gonna chop up some fresh parsley, nicely coarse, to add to my dish. Putting my salmon in there, nice and creamy. Look how beautiful it looks. I'm gonna take some of those tomatoes in there, okay, and some of that spinach. Can't neglect those. Put it nice on the plate, and take some of that fresh parsley and just sprinkle it on top. Now I'm gonna take some lemon zest, not only for the look of it, but it actually enhances the flavor of the fish. So I recommend that you do that. So here you have it, folks. Tuscan creamy salmon with some rice on the side. Looks delicious. And remember, respect the food. Now remember earlier that I said I was gonna make a side dish because I was gonna have extra cream. Well, here I picked up some scallops that I had in the freezer. You know, when you have leftovers, you can always create a whole new dish. Okay, so here's the stuffed tortellini that I cooked. Right, so I'm gonna get that drained, and let me season the scallops. All right, plenty of salt. Be generous with it. And what I do is I coat the whole entire scallops. I got the pan heating up. Add some olive oil just to coat it. Throw the scallops in there and start to cook them. So now you see I got the nice little color that I want. Just gonna add some butter to it there, okay? Keeps the scallops from drying. Gives it a nice flavor. And cook it through. So here's the leftover cream sauce that I have. So I brought it up to a simmer just to reheat it. Drain in my stuffed tortellinis. Throw it in the pan. Stir it up, mix it up. Look how beautiful it looks. And you just made yourself a second meal just with that. Okay? Now I'm just gonna go and take the plate, put my tortellinis in there, nice and creamy, and watch what I do next. So I cut up some nice tomatoes that I used earlier, but I didn't cook these, so I throw them in there for color and for flavor, and I'm just gonna add my scallops. Man, this plate looks beautiful. Chopped up some fresh parsley and just throw it up there for a nice little plating, and some Asiago cheese. So here you go, folks. Okay, creamy Tuscan stuffed tortellini with pan-seared scallops. Can't go wrong with that. Once again, you have to respect the food, steel cross style. So here you go, folks. I made 2 dishes with the same Tuscan cream sauce, 2 different seafoods, 2 different plates. Hearty, healthy, delicious. North African eggs. So here are the following ingredients for my North African eggs. Okay, so I have the following. I got 4 eggs, coriander seed. You can either get it ground or the seeds itself. I got some lemon zest, about a tablespoon. I got 3 cloves of olives, nicely chopped and diced. I got serrano peppers, nicely diced. I have some plum tomatoes, about 4 of them, diced up. I got a whole white onion, sweet onion, diced. And I got a mixture of red and yellow peppers here, okay? And bring up the pan to high heat. So now that my pan is nicely hot here, okay, and a high heat, just gonna drizzle some olive oil, just enough to coat it. You know the routine. Now I'm just gonna throw in my peppers here. Whole white onions. Get some of that garlic. Throw that in there also. The serrano peppers. And start to mix. Make sure I cook this down. Okay, trying to dry out most of the moisture if you can. Okay, cook it thoroughly through. I'm continuing the cooking process here by eliminating most of the moisture that's in the pan. Okay, and now I'm just gonna add some coriander seed to this. About a teaspoon of it. Lightly coat it. Alright, give it a thorough mix. Once you start to smell the aroma of the coriander seeds with all the onions and peppers in there, you know you're doing a good job, okay? It's the aroma that comes out of these pots and pans. It's what tells you that you're cooking your food the right way. That's my philosophy. So as you can see, the colors of the peppers I use, you could use green peppers if you want, you know, but I use these 2 colors here because I like the way it looks. It's vibrant. It's a nice color. It makes the dish look beautiful. Now I'm just gonna add my tomatoes in there and cook those through also, and try to eliminate most of the moisture that the tomato actually spits out as you're cooking. So you can see I'm actually folding it. I'm just not, stirring it, because I don't want to destroy the tomatoes, okay? Yeah, I want to mix in with the rest of the ingredients, but I don't want to destroy the shape of the tomatoes, because they'll come out mushy and stuff like that. So that's why I'm gentle and I respect the food. So now I'm just going to put a lid to it and let it cook for about a good 5-6 minutes. So now it's been about 5-6 minutes, okay? And I got most of the moisture out. So I'm just gonna toss these bad boys here, and then I'm just gonna show you what I'm gonna do with the eggs, okay? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create a little hole here. Take an egg, crack it, gently put in there without destroying the yolk. I'm repeating the process by creating another hole and adding an egg in there. So now I got my 4 eggs in there. I'm going to cover it, medium low, cook that for 5 to 6 minutes until the egg whites have been fully cooked. And you can leave it for 5 minutes if you still want the yolk a little runny, or 7 minutes if you want the yolk to be fully cooked through. So it's been 6 minutes, and there you have it, folks. North African eggs. Okay? I chopped up some green onions, tossed those bad boys up there, make it look pretty. And some lemon zest, just to give it that extra flavor, that kick, and that flair. So once again, this is my second dish, North African eggs, courtesy of Steel Cross. Stuffed zucchini, Steel Cross style. This quick and easy appetizer is amazing. I use the zucchini here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut off the ends. Just like this. Then I'm going to use this a normal peeler. Okay. And I'm just going to peel it off on the side here. But look what's going to happen when I actually peel off what I really want. Check this out. So what I'm going to do is this. I'm just going to firmly place it. Pass the peeler right down, straight down. Now what I'm going to get is a thin slice. You see? Paper thin. That's what I want. That's going to be for my stuffed zucchini. So I'm going to do a few of these and then show you what I'm going to do with the next one. See, I sliced a few. Okay, thin. And I'm going to get it ready for seasoning. So what I got here now is a non-stick baking sheet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drizzle it with olive oil just to get it coated. So now I'm getting it nicely coated. So now I'm just going to add some salt to the mixture here and some fresh pepper. So now I'm going to start placing my sliced zucchini right on the tray. Make sure I get it coated. Now you see how much trouble I'm getting trying to flip it over. I really don't recommend that because the zucchini is so thin, it can actually break on you. Okay? So I would just place them and then continue the process of drizzling the olive oil, salt, and pepper on top of the zucchini so like that it doesn't break apart on you as you're trying to get this marinated. So now I got them all placed, and I'm going to drizzle some olive oil on top and put some salt and pepper. Now for the filling, okay? I'm just going to take just simple plain ricotta cheese, as you can see here, all right? And I'm going to paste about maybe a quarter cup into the bowl. Then I'm just going to drizzle a little bit of olive oil, about a teaspoon. I just want to get this nice and coated, okay, and get the mixture in there. It's going to add a lightness to the ricotta cheese, okay? And what I'm trying to get is a cream to it. So you can see I had to add a little bit more olive oil to it, all right? So I adjust as I go. So like I'm trying to create a creaminess to it, okay? Kind of like what you get in a cake batter or a frosting, so to speak. Now I'm going to take a fresh lemon, okay? And I'm just going to cut a little less than half of that, like a quarter of it. Add a little bit of lemon juice to it. Okay, this will bring everything together. Okay, give it that nice little flavor. All right, as you can see, it's kind of a little watery, so I will adjust accordingly by adding more ricotta cheese. See? So as you can see, I'm adding a little bit, another tablespoon of ricotta cheese, adjusting it. All right, try to get that texture that I want, that creaminess that I want, and you adjust as you go. So now I got that nice little velvet texture to it that I've been looking for in this mixture. Okay, and now I'm ready for my next step, which is to put some fresh basil on it. As you can see, I'm going to stack them up, then roll them up like a cigar. Okay, and then give it a light chopping. I don't recommend to chop basil twice because you actually destroy it. So just give it a nice little chop. This is the proper way to do it. Just like this. Throw it in the bowl and give it a light mixture, like so. So now I got this pan nicely hot, and I'm going to take my sliced almonds and I'm just going to throw them in there and get them toasted. So now I got my almonds toasted. See, it turned a little bit of color, and you can actually smell the aroma of the almonds coming off the pan. The second what I want, get them off the heat, and now I'm just going to place them in the bowl. All right, so now I'm going to toss these almonds there in the mixture. Simple. Toasted almonds, ricotta cheese, lime juice, basil. Simple recipe. Delicious. So now I'm going to start with my plating. Now I'm going to show you guys what I'm going to do. So I'm going to take a slice of the zucchini here. All right. Let me set this up for the camera real quick for you guys. So I'm just going to put it there. And I'm going to take a nice little small teaspoon. Okay. And try to get all the almonds and the basil and the ricotta cheese that I can in one spoon. Put it right in the middle there. Well, towards the end. And then what you want to do is, here, I'll show you. You're going to want to roll it, just like if you're rolling a cigar. Roll it nice and tight, but be gentle, because it will break on you. Just like this. And then just put it right on the plate. Just like that. So I'm going to repeat this process again. Okay, take a zucchini, fill up a nice little teaspoon of the ingredients here. The almonds and the basil and the ricotta cheese and the lemon juice. All right, let me put it on the other side here, okay? The fattest side is where you want to start to roll up first to the thinnest. Okay, then you roll. Just like that. Okay, and then you put it right on the plate, just like that. I'll be back with the finished product. Alright, so here you have it. Stuffed zucchini with sliced almonds and ricotta cheese. Beautiful. So now what I'm going to do is, I'm going to add a little bit of balsamic vinegar. This adds to the flavor. Just drizzle it a little bit. Just like this. Simple dish, simple appetizer. Stuffed zucchini. Respect the food.